we saw them fleeing, we saw their ships sailing out, we saw their ships actually literally sailing out without sufficient fuel to get back to the nearest Russian base. And of course the greatest irony of all this in seeing the all-powerful, all-dominant Russian military was the ship sent to relieve the Russian ships outside their port Tartus in Syria, and the one that actually sank, which showed how effective the Russian Navy actually is, was called the Great Bear. So it's actually quite amusing for some of us to see that the Great Bear, the ship that was sent to relieve the Russian ships, did it actually self-sink, and this shows the power, the actual power of the Russian fleet. So not only is the all-seeing, all-powerful Russian fleet not present in the Mediterranean anymore, it's not been present in the Black Sea for a good while now as well. Now you could argue that this is a fairly obscure thing to be talking about. In assessing the true power of the Russian fleet in the Black Sea, you can actually look at insurance prices in London for ships in the Black Sea and grain ships in the Black Sea in particular, and are now actually reverted to the pre-full-scale invasion level, which means that the sea's risk for Western ships in the Black Sea is now the same as it was. There is the ineffectiveness of the Russian Navy. And the Russian Navy has a claim to fame, which is it's the first major navy in world history to be defeated by a country without a navy, which is quite an achievement when you think about it. And also we talk about the Russians portray their fleet as being wonderful, and yet when it actually comes to actually doing anything, it shows themselves to be completely ineffective and had to scurry back to home port outside the range of Ukrainian missiles. And while we're on the subject of Ukrainian missiles, it was interesting that this week it was announced that Ukraine is now exporting its drone technology. So in certain aspects, Ukraine has actually moved from being an importer of arms to an exporter of arms and seen as the go-to people to consult about drone technology. Which once again shows how things are changing, and Russia's desperate desire to portray Ukraine as a weak and vulnerable power is not actually sustainable when you actually look at the facts. So we've had a look at the FSB, and we've seen the full effectiveness of the Russian Navy and how it's all scurried back and busy sinking. But let's look at the Ukrainian army. Now the Russian army. One of the things about the Russian army is it's not actually a united force. So what we actually saw about how rapidly the Ukrainians are going to be expelled from Kursk was the people who were deployed were actually three groups. So you had FSB, internal security troops, border troops, and the Russian army. And all three of these troops don't actually get on with each other. And this is actually illustrated by Prigozhin and his thunder run to Russia, in that all these troops are actually Putin is desperate that nobody real alternative rises. So he's quite happy to have three different organisations fighting for supremacy. And this is one of the reasons why the Russians have actually shown themselves to be so ineffective about getting Ukrainian troops out of Kursk. So when Russia talks about how effective its military actually is, you have to look at it and go, right, yes, they claim to be advancing, they claim to be doing really well. Whatever that effect is, why have we not got all the Ukrainian troops out of Kursk? If they were that good, surely the very country that needs to look after this is your own country. And the reality of it is they've not actually been able to get there, reclaim their own territory, their own sovereign territory.
Яке запитання написати?
Питання? Так.
Кому належить Аляска? Ми всі знаємо, що вони скажуть. Може якесь інше не знає, це якось дуже очевидно. Вони всі почнуть «Росія, Росія, Росія» кричати.
Можемо запитати, чи будуть миротворці в Україні?
Чи будуть європейці, чи американці, чи ніхто. Скільки опцій ти можеш дати?
4.
4 опції. Скажи, одна опція не буде миротворців, одна опція тільки європейці, одна опція європейці і американці. Все, 3 визначені.
Яка перша?
Не буде миротворців. Миротворців не буде, так. Друга, тільки європейці будуть. А третє європейці і американці. Оце цікаве питання, так, це ти правильно.
Так Рашка там казала, що вони хочуть Китай. Як? Не чув?
Що китайці будуть?
Ну так, і що з Китаєм треба ще як...
Знаєш, я не думаю, там будуть китайці. Хіба що на російському боці, але я не думаю, що там за Китай буде. А я хочу ще якусь четверту вигадати. Європейці, американці, китайці, типу всі підряд там будуть. Може просто китайці. Ну як ти думаєш, це на
Напишемо хтось з Азії.
з інших міст, ніби з Азії, з Середнього Сходу. Блін, зараз з Африки почнуть присилати. Буде прикольно.
And you don't need to stand here and study this. You don't need to listen to what other people are saying. Just have a look at the aircraft that were destroyed and the independent people who said this. And the farce of Russia was illustrated by open source information when literally Tu-95, which is the Russian Bear aircraft, which is one of the things they used to deny their glide bombs, was actually wrecked and it had no fuselage left, and the Russian claimed that this aircraft wasn't actually damaged. So again, this is the example of the Russian Air Force, the Russian Army, and the Russian Navy and the FSB aren't actually working together. The element I usually talk about is sanctions and the effectiveness of the sanctions. Now, one of the things Putin did ask for was that the sanctions be renewed immediately.
Наиль, а ты Мангур, что за хуйня? Вас еще не отправили домой. Ні, не відправили. Блін, смішне запитання, коли дивишся на людей, які в Великобританії. А ти ще у Великобританії? Ну, як бачиш. Що кажеш?
Гомосейки.
Гомосейки?
Лондонські.
Лондонські гомосейки. Ні, тебе тут нема, чувак. Якщо приїдеш, то будуть вже гомосейки.
Приходь.
Да, на Прайд. На Прайд прийде зараз, блін. Гомосек. Гомозек. Що то з якими-то тряпками стоять. Ну я кажу, вам нема тут російських прапорів, блін, то що ти говориш, не знаю. Далтонік чи що. Два кольори, а не три. У вас такий хріновий прапор, блін.
Треба як в Уно картах, там той кружочок.
Типа перескакуєш один.
Ні, там де колір, нових
трикутничок, кружочок, квадратик, да, знаю за що. Знаю. Дивися, комусь, чекай, не поняв. А я не розумію цей Пітер, я не розумію цей коментар. Британський прапор і український прапор м'язи. Що за фуфло? А в чому проблема британського прапора, чувак? Не кажи, це можливо якісь ватники там пробують розкольники, тут розкол зробити.
Толік, ми не з вами.
Чекай, мені нравиться аналь. Ого, нічого собі.
Толік,
ну пішло, поїхало, блин. Я в шоці. Пішло, поїхало. Патріоти на виїзді. Хто тобі сказав, що ми патріоти, блін, чоловічі?
Про криси. Крысы. Вот крысы.
Крысы, да. Сбежали из Лондона за родну неньку переживають. Ну ж таки, ми тут не за рідну неньку говоримо, чоловічі. Ми тут говоримо за те, що ви почали війну в Європі як останні наркошизи, як сволочня, як звірі. Бо ви поводитесь як звірі, це ваша культура, так звана. І тому цю культуру треба знищити, щоб люди були вільні від культури, яка робить з людей звірів. От ми знищимо вашу культуру один прекрасний день. Але для цього нам потрібна допомога європейців. І ми це зробимо всі разом з європейцями. Не переймайся, скоро прийде ваша черга. Скоро війна перейде з України в Росію. Буде цей день. Скільки заплатили? Тисячу кожен день. Кожен день, що ти приходжу, мені опа, 1000 фунтів приходить. Завали своє хавало, не обосрись. Знищав. Боже, яке воно кончене, блін. Ну я сказав серйозно, так, що ми хочемо зробити, що ми будемо робити, що ми робимо. А воно, блін, єбло не може два слова сказати всерйоз. Воно мусить почати одразу бочку котити на людину. Да?
Ну так.
Звірі, я вам чесно кажу. Нас і другим роздай. Да. Ну це хоч трішки оригінально. Ви можете тільки сосати. Не вміє писати, чувак, не вміє. Я не хочу читати, що вони тут пишуть, всяку фігню. Мутюкається без перериву, без кінця і краю мутюкається. Ну що можна сказати за хуйло таке? Путін хуйло, правда. А что ты сейчас прямой эфир снимаешь? Раз ты любишь... ну знову починається. Я вже знаю, що це буде. Раз ты любишь свою Украину, иди защищай свою страну, Украину с первого взрыва, обосрешься. Ну, люди, у вас багато часу є прийти тут писати ці їбучі коментарі. Багато часу бачу. Ну вам, мабуть, платять так рублик за кожен коментар чи що ви пишете там у бот-фермах. Чому не вернетесь в Україну? Тимур Мангур. Що це таке Тимур Мангур? Вони голосували за це, за опитування. Що сказали? Миротворців не буде. Більшість думає, що не буде. Потім друге, хто-то із Азії. Ну ви смішні люди, тільки європейці. 4%. Блін, найімовірніше, це тільки європейці. І ці ідіоти втиснули тільки європейці, як останній вибір.
Нема логіки.
Скоріше всього, або європейці, або нікого не буде справді. Але всіх там китайці не хочуть нічого до цього мати. Вони вже Манчжурію у вас віддерли, ідіоти. Вони вже у вас Манчжурію віддерли. І вони ще багато що інше у вас віддеруть. Вже жінок у вас віддерли. Китайці менше п'ють, російські жінки так і кажуть. Китайці менше п'ють, китайці працюють. І починають сім'ю з китайцями. Скоро будуть там на Сході такі перемішані між москалями і китайцями. Подобається вам таке життя? Ну, скажіть дякую Путіну за те, що він вам дозволив мужиків всіх вирізати, а щоб жінки всі одружувалися з китайцями. Ну, я вам чесно скажу, скоріше всього країна буде краще такою ваша, якщо ваші жінки з китайцями будуть майбутнє Росії будувати. Принаймні будуть пиячити менше, будуть бухати не так багато. Блін, ідіоти. Знаєте таке англійське слово «cuckold»? Оце ви всі. Мобіки, які йдуть на фронт, а там у вас, блін, китайці всю землю забирають. За родину!
Катя каже, що китайці в нашому кліматі не живуть.
Боже, яке довбнуте. Яке довбнуте. Це... Ну, блін, Віталій, я тобі кажу, чесно. Менталітет звірини. Оце, типу, сказати, лев не може жити лев не може жити в Антарктиді, в Канаді. Лев не може там жити. Ну, блін, шубу натягне китаєць. Він може будь-де жити. Може чорний, білий, сірий, коричневий, зелений.
Китай город там Чайнатаун. Вони живуть і нічого.
Блін, не знаю. Китайці в кліматі цьому не живуть, блін, ідіоти. Я в шоці. Чекай, що ще кажуть. Ви самі не рушите над своєю мовою. Боже мій, болить читати, чесно. так смішно, і що... Блін, я ржу не з мови, я ржу з того, як ви не вмієте написати навіть своєю мовою або нашою, тим більше.
А, знюхай. Скільки? 20?
24.
Молодець.
Все життя в це. Все життя. Last birthday today. Probably one. I'm not going to bet on
Is there else any questions? In that case, I shall hand over some more music.
Це 5.
Whatever you can say, you either actually might alienate both
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Слава нації!
Смерть ворогам!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
I've got to be honest with you. I've just come home, well, not home, back to London, and on days like this, I feel really exhausted because I've commuted to a different city, and I ask myself, shall I go to today's rally or not? And we've got this luxury of being able to decide to go or not to go, to write that letter to an MP about Ukraine or not write it, to do something, to do very little, to do nothing at all. We have that luxury. But the people in Ukraine, the people that are living in Ukraine right now, they don't have that luxury, because every day they face the same thing. They can't switch off the bombing, the shelling. They can't just close their curtains and pretend that there are no Shaheed drones outside, because it doesn't work like that. So sometimes we've got to think how fortunate we are. How fortunate we are to live in a peaceful country. And we should start thinking about sacrifice, because we need to start making little sacrifices. And these sacrifices right now are only standing next to Ukrainians, standing with them and supporting them, speaking about Ukraine, amplifying their voices. Those are the sacrifices right now. But the sacrifices a couple of years down the line, maybe 5 years down the line, we could well be on a warpath if we don't take things seriously, and if we don't start thinking what is happening. You know, not walking around with our eyes shut and pretending nothing's happening. Because geopolitically, this is very significant and it affects us all. It doesn't just affect the wallets, it does affect whether maybe tomorrow or in a few years' time we will be paying the blood price. Of course we don't want to do that. And Ukrainians have never asked us to pay the blood price. But if we don't stand with them properly, that's how it may well turn out. So the message is, stand with Ukraine.
Stand with Ukraine!
Stand with Ukraine.
Stand with Ukraine!
Stand with Ukraine.
Stand with Ukraine!
Stand with Ukraine. Stand with Ukraine. Stop Russia, stop the war. Stop Russia, stop the war. Stop Russia, stop the war.
Hi. Huh?
How can I help you?
I don't need help.
Okay. Is there any reason why it's the second time you've come to video?
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you're videoing?
Just show to people.
Show to people?
Yeah.
What people?
Who in the live stream
What live stream are you doing?
in YouTube.
Right, okay.
Alright? Thank you.
No more bloodshed. A compromise to peace. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a dangerous illusion. In reality, this would be appeasing the Russian aggressor. Don't appease Russia!
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 Ceding territory to Russia would not end the war. It would guarantee many more wars. It wouldn't protect lives. It would expose many more to occupation, repression and violence. And it wouldn't bring stability. It would shatter the very principle that keeps the world from sliding into endless wars. That borders cannot be changed by force. The only way to stop this and to ensure peace is by supporting Ukraine. Support Ukraine, protect peace.
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 What's at stake in Ukraine is far bigger than just a line on a map. It's about the trust between nations, the security of Europe, and the future of the international order. To understand why Ukraine cannot and must not give up territory, I'm going to share 5 truths with you. So the first truth is that borders matter. After World War II, the world agreed on one core principle. No country can take land by force. And this principle underpins global stability. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Ukraine became independent within its recognized borders, and so did Russia. Both nations were accepted as sovereign and equal. It's not about lines on a map. It's about Ukrainian communities that potentially face oppression for their language, culture, and just wanting to be free. All of this
Пабло, gali ispaniškai atsakyti?
Galim. Bet aš atrodo, kad jūs atsakot.
Ne, jūsų balsą girdės. Galiu jūsų parodyti, galiu nerodyti.
Ne, geriau nerodykit.
Tai galit ispaniškai for Pablo.
Afraid of the war of Ukraine.
Čia ir angliškai rašo.
Čia visokių heiterių turi.
Jo, ir angliškai, ir ispaniškai.
No to occupation.
Las banderas no sirven de nada.
O, Pablo,
No to occupation. The second truth
Pablo, ¿por qué
Russia gave its words and broke it. So Ukraine's sovereignty wasn't just recognized, it was guaranteed. In 1994, under the Budapest Memorandum, Russia pledged to respect Ukraine's independence, and other countries assured this, including Britain and America, in return for Ukraine in their arsenal.
Nežinau, ar jis klauso. Nemanau, kad klauso.
The Treaty of Friendship reaffirmed Russia's recognition of Ukraine's borders, which includes Crimea, Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, etc. Yet when it suited Moscow's ambitions, it tore up both agreements. This was not an accident. It fits a pattern of breaking promises in Moldova, Georgia, ignoring the Minsk agreements.
Dauguma nesupranta angliškai, aišku, bet aš pastebėjau dabar, kai įdedu ir jau kitą dieną yra 8 kalbų parinktis YouTube. Labai gerai, kaip filme, kaip ant viršaus bango, ir lenkiškai yra, japonų, prancūzų, visos pagrindinės, hindi. Čia YouTube'as padirbėjo labai gerai.
Išverčia ispaniškai ir ispaniškai išverčia.
Jo, yra ispaniškai.
And the US also gave their words in the Budapest Memorandum in 1994.
Susirenka visi, jie žino, kad jūs darysite tiesioginę transliaciją.
And America, we can see.
Aš tiesiog pradedu, o tie, kurie sėdė ir nori kažką pasižiūrėti, jie tiesiog svaipina. Viršų, ir sustoja dabar žmonių. 500.
Don't betray Ukraine. Don't betray Ukraine.
Don't betray Ukraine.
Don't betray Ukraine.
Don't betray Ukraine.
Don't betray Ukraine.
No. English speaker, what they wanna.
Мене соромно поголи, що приїхали до інших країн, щоб створити проблеми.
Короче, хейтер.
Now listen, when these really rarely happen near us, like I was feeling like I was riding on action, because there were actually quite supportive of us, showing us a lot of support, but I didn't want to say anything in support because I started saying things in opposition to the Ayatollah regime. I was saying, yeah, you know, they were like that, yeah, they loved it. It was a very friendly interaction. But I didn't stop.
Because Russia is a terrorist state. Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is the terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state.
Russia is the terrorist state.
Russia is a terrorist state. The fourth lesson is the world has already spoken. Twice in fact, in 2014 and 2022, the United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly reaffirmed Crimea, Donetsk, Kherson, Zaporizhia, all of this is Ukraine. The international community knows the stakes. Because if Russia's land grab is normalized, no country's sovereignty is safe. So we say to the world supports Ukraine. World supports Ukraine. World supports Ukraine. World support Ukraine. The fifth and the final lesson that I'm going to share, and for many reasons the most important lesson, the fifth lesson is, this is about Ukrainian people, not just about territory. Of course that territory is important, but the Ukrainian people on that territory are so important. And I have friends in Ukraine. I have family in Ukraine.
It's not Russia's fault. Zelensky sold you to the main thing is that he would live, not you understand already. I mean, Zelensky didn't flee Ukraine. He had the chance to run away from Ukraine. I don't know where this is coming from. Like, people blaming Zelensky for the war. What the hell did Zelensky do? Like, look, you can criticize Zelensky on some things, no problem. He's not perfect. But him causing the war? No way, man. It's complete nonsense. Shameful nation of fascists, Ukrainian flag. Why? Почему не по-кротски? Free Ukraine. Why? Dude, when someone says Ukraine without the E at the end, I 100% know this is not a Ukraine supporter. This is not someone who supports Ukraine. Обережно з телефоном, тут ці двох їдуть. Єблани.
Придурки.
Вийобуються малі, блін.
You lose anyway. What's point?
What's point? You will lose anyway. What's point, comrade? Що ти делаєш на Западі? Подобається тут жити, знаєш. От Захід – це прикольне місце, де можна жити. А от Рашка – це гімно. У вас гімно. Ну, Португалія – це Європа, блін. Ні, ну як тобі сказати, Португалія не аж так, якби, не така багата країна, як Великобританія, але теж добра країна.
Говно говном погоняємо.
Russian power. What power? You can't even, dude. Again, I was saying this before.
Russia sucker.
I was saying this before in Ukraine, and I'll say it again in English. Like, you guys should be ashamed that you're doing this poorly against Ukraine. You guys like. You should never talk about Russian power and Russian imperialism. If you're struggling right now so much against Ukraine, if the West was not as mentally limp-wristed as they are, brother, you guys would be in such trouble. You guys would be dead. You all would be dead. But you're lucky that the West is not very united. Right now they're dealing with that, slowly but surely. Guys, you can't do jack shit. You are China's colony. You are China's colony. Congratulations. Putin said he didn't want to become a gas station for the West. Now he's a gas station for China. Good. Well, you know what? I kind of feel a little bit bad for India. I didn't think I would say this a while ago because the Indians have been playing both sides. I don't respect that. But I kind of feel a little bit bad for India because it's like they're being made into a boogeyman by Trump. He's starting to sanction them because they're not as important as China, although China is helping Russia a lot more. Like, it's a bit unfair for the Indians, let's face it. It's a little bit unfair for the Indians, man. Like, I respect secondary sanctions, but we all will be dead. Okay, Valhalla calling me. That's not Russian. Valhalla is not Russian, єблан. Ідіот. Valhalla – це вікінгів, якби їхнє... Ну, взагалі-то англосакси ближче до вікінгів, ніж теперішні москалі. Блін, чуваки, вас узад китайці їбуть. Про що ви говорите?
Мексика, Порто-Во.
Мексика. Arriba, Mexico. Very nice, love Mexico. Что про Майдан и АРТ обстеры Донбасса. О, Донбілі Бомбас! Донбілі Бомбас! Нарешті, Боже, як я вже заскучав за цим.
Air defense for Ukraine.
Air defense for Ukraine.
Air defense for Ukraine.
Air defense for Ukraine.
And let's remember an important element for this and a basis for peace is justice. Those kidnapped Ukrainian children, and there could be up to 35,000 Ukrainian children that Russians have abducted, given a different name, and forced them to live with the Russian family all over Russia. Those kids need returning. And there needs to be justice for all those crimes that the Russians the Russian terrorists have committed in Ukraine. So tribunals for Russian war criminals.
Tribunal for Russia war criminals.
Tribunals for Russian war criminals.
Tribunal for Russia war criminals.
Tribunals for Russian war criminals.
Tribunal for Russia war criminals.
And forget appeasement. Forget giving away Ukrainian land. That is not for anybody to give away. And the Ukrainians certainly don't want to give it away. What we should be talking about, however, is about making Russia pay. Because all of that destruction, all of that harm that they've caused in Ukraine, all of that damage, they need to pay for it. So let's end this by saying, make Russia pay.
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 Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Слава нації!
Смерть ворогам!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Наш герой тричі!
Слава! Слава! Слава!
Thank you.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Слава нації!
Смерть ворогам!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Героям України тричі!
Слава!
Ворогам України тричі! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Idiocracy in the White House. My friends, I do not know what to say anymore. I mean, we were having a good laugh today in our rallies.
This is not something that's particularly important to Ukraine, but this is just to show you what kind of an individual is leading the free world right now. Now, Trump has bragged about ending the war between Azerbaijan and Albania. Now, round of applause to Donald Trump for stopping the war, the world-famous war between Azerbaijan and Albania. For those who do not know, there's no war between Azerbaijan and Albania. It's Azerbaijan and Armenia. But Trump, of course, in his usual wisdom, in his silver tongue, he said that he stopped the war between Azerbaijan in the spelling as well, and Albania. My friends, I don't know what to say. Trump clearly is just waffling all the time. He's a master waffler. He waffles day and night, and he's good at waffling. I mean, he got a fan base in the United States, sure. He keeps waffling, and he keeps getting away with it because people don't actually confront him about the things he says. Now, he doesn't always do it on purpose. He doesn't always just lie straight up and he lies straight up. But my friends, this has to stop. This irresponsible behavior needs to stop because he clearly doesn't understand anything of what's going on between Ukraine and Russia or anything about Europe in the first place. Azerbaijan and Albania. Come on, man. This is Biden level of brain rot. He used to be making fun of Biden for such things. Look at him now. He's doing the same thing right now as we speak. Less of that. My friends, once again, nothing happens. Nothing happened when Trump met Putin. Except, of course, Trump humiliating himself once again and waiting at the end of the red carpet for Putin for His Majesty Putin to get out of the plane and meet with Trump. Allow Trump, grace Mr. Trump with his glorious presence, his war criminal hands, shook Trump's little hands, and together they became one in that moment. True romance, right there, my friends. Now, this time, Zelensky met Trump, and this truly cringes me. I feel a lot of cringe having to talk about this, my friends. But the most famous, the most popular, the most viral thing about the latest meeting between the European leaders, the most important people in Europe, bright people, intelligent people, and Trump, was the fact that they had another conversation about Zelensky's suit. And this time Zelensky was wearing a suit. I mean, priorities, my friends, truly priorities. It's very tiring for this idiocracy to be exported from the United States to the rest of the world, and all of us having to play along with the United States in their perpetually rotting political system. Not too long ago, J.D. Vance said, we need a president who doesn't negotiate with terrorists. We need a president who kills terrorists. I mean, that didn't age very well, did it? For those who think I'm talking exclusively about Putin, you're wrong. Trump also negotiated with the Taliban, a worldwide recognized terrorist organization. And Putin is widely recognized as a terrorist. And Trump negotiated with both of them. Where is this killing of terrorists we've heard about? I don't see any. Do you, my friends? Does anyone here see which are these imaginary terrorists that Trump has this very heavy hand against? Where are these terrorists? Because I certainly don't see them. For me, it seems like Trump doesn't have a heavy hand for terrorists. He has a very light hand that he extends to them, and then he shakes the hand of the terrorist that gets out of the Russian plane. That is what it seems to us, my friends. It's a very sad thing to see. Very sad, honestly. Very, very sad to see this. But alas, this is where we are. It seems like Trump only now is starting to understand what's going on in Ukraine, and I use that word. I'm honestly bastardizing that word to a large extent. To say he understands it is an overestimation of the greatest order. It's difficult. It is difficult. It's difficult to see your fate, the fate of the whole world, depending on geriatric warfare. It's very difficult to see these geriatrics destroying the world. A world that will not be alive in for long. How long is Putin going to live? How long is Trump going to live? My friends, these guys are going to kick the bucket in a couple of years. but they will never live through the damage they're doing against this world right now. The world has to change. People with dementia should not be allowed into power anymore. I mean, it was bad enough with Biden, now we got Trump. Again, he stopped the war between Albania and Azerbaijan. I mean, my friends, I digress. It has to be said that not everything went poorly. In fact, this meeting was far better than the world infamous meeting between Trump, J.D. Vance and Zelensky that everybody remembers very well. When they jumped Zelensky, they tried to humiliate him as much as possible. They did not try to do that this time. This time they played warfare. They played nice. They played softball this time. Because there were European leaders around the place. And the European leaders that can actually tell Trump off. They're not going to, not unless they really need to. But they will. They can. Unlike Zelensky, who needs Trump to protect his country, to actually save Europe. All right, guys, would you like to ask a question by any chance? No? How much does Zelensky spend on cocaine? Oh, that's hilarious, a knee slapper! Such a good one, such a good one. Never heard this one before. Never heard this one before. Let me tell you a story of something that happened a few years ago before the war. The Putin's party, Единая Россия, was caught with 2 tons of cocaine coming from Brazil. You can Google it right now. Putin blaming Zelensky of being a coke addict. It's the absolute biggest irony I've heard in my whole life. Absolute biggest irony. First point, there's actual proof of this. Keep in mind, I'm giving you evidence. I'm talking about something specific that happened, and you can look it up, you can find it. Can you guys give me evidence of Zelensky getting caught with cocaine? Oh yes, go on. What do you mean they were caught? Is there a video? Oh, you don't know. Okay, the bottom caught them. Okay. Yeah, my friend. That's a very good one. Source, just trust me, bro. Source, just trust me, bro. Okay. I assume you gentlemen are not very supportive of Ukraine as a whole? No, you're not. I can see you're not. That's fair. Huh? Oh, you have no problem with Ukraine, only with Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. You have no problem with Putin, huh? No problem with Putin. Oh, my friend, you have a problem. Hold on a second. You have a problem with arson attempts in the United Kingdom. Arson attempts in the United Kingdom. Arson, you know arson. Do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with burning houses in the United Kingdom? Yes, you do. Okay, so you have a problem with Putin. Thank you very much. So you have a problem with Putin. Putin has been funding arson attempts in the United Kingdom for a very long time. My friend, you don't need to come so close. I can hear you from over there. I don't have an issue with you, it's nothing personal. But you said you have no issue with Putin, which is a problem, because you shouldn't have an issue with Putin. Putin loves this country. Putin loves this country. Yeah. I mean, you guys did ask a very provocative question about why did Zelensky do coke. I don't mind it. I'll have a laugh. I'll have a giggle. I don't mind it. That's fair. I mean, it's nothing personal. I'm not attacking you guys in personal, am I? I'm just asking you questions. Now, you guys say you have nothing against Putin. I said why you should have a problem with Putin. Because Putin is an enemy of this country. Russia is the #1 geopolitical enemy of this great country we are in right now. Always. Who else is an enemy of the United Kingdom but Russia? Is it Germany or France? You must be joking, guys. It's not. It's fair, no worries. It's fine. No, it's fine. We're good. Anyway, let's shake it, bro. Let's shake it. No, I got no problem with you guys. No, we're having a laugh. It's all good. No worries, lads, no worries. It's just some good fun, guys. It's some good fun. No, I love some proper lads here, coming by. Have a nice day, guys. Have a nice day. But honestly, look up the thing I said about 2 tons of coke. Look it up, guys. It's very funny. And it wasn't even the only time it happened. It happened like a couple of times. They got caught with that. But anyway, my friends, I'd like to mention something about Medvedev in particular. Now, Medvedev is an interesting case because Medvedev is a world-renowned drunkard. Now, he gets drunk all the time. Medvedev has been saying, he's been talking out of his behind for a very long time now. He's been saying, oh, you know, there's going to be this Fourth Reich created in Europe, and it's the evil Anglo-Saxons who are doing that with the Germans. They're going to be the new Nazis now. This is what Medvedev says. Now, Medvedev is a fool, and he's a drunkard. And that's exactly why Medvedev doesn't talk about the fact that the United Kingdom has been the only country that was opposing Nazi Germany from the beginning of the war all the way until the end of the war. The only country, my friends. There was a time that the United Kingdom was alone against the Axis powers, alone. Does Medvedev talk about this? No, of course not. He continues to spread this idiotic idea that Russia won World War II. My friends, if there's a country that can be said to have won World War II, it's the United Kingdom. Because the United Kingdom always had an ideological standpoint in the Second World War. The Soviet Union started World War II on the same side as the Nazis. They have signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Treaty with Nazi Germany. They split Poland in half. Half went to Hitler, half went to Stalin. What can we say about that? They talk about, oh, you know, there's been all those Ukrainians that joined the Nazi army. My friends, nobody, and I mean nobody, helped the Nazis as much as the Soviets. They gave them metal. They gave them fuel. They gave them Ukrainian grain that they took away from the Ukrainian people, making them starve, making millions of Ukrainians starve to death in one of the biggest man-made starvations in human history, the Holodomor. And they fueled the Nazi war machine to start the World War II and to continue it. The Nazis would never do as well as they did if it were not for the help from the Soviets. Let's not forget about that. And every single socialist and communist party in Europe back in the day, they were saying, oh, we shouldn't have war with Hitler. Why should we have war with Hitler? War is bad and stuff. My friends, what a platitude to say, right? Nobody would say with a straight face, I mean, unless he's a psychopath like Putin. Nobody would say, oh, war is good. Nobody would say that. However, truth of the matter is, there are things worse than war. And that is to be caught powerless in the face of an individual, of an entity that wants to exterminate you, like the Jews were at the beginning of World War II. Yes, my friend, go ahead. Oh, I know he's Welshman, big up.
He said, why aren't you in Ukraine now?
Oh, here we go, another one. Because we must follow proper procedure, my friend. If every Ukrainian goes to Ukraine and the Western world, the free world, simply ditches Ukraine, they're going to be slaughtered like pigs. That's what's going to happen. This is not a question of why are Ukrainians not in Ukraine. This is a question of why is the free world still not taking Russia seriously? Because every single life of a Ukrainian saved today is the life of a Westerner saved tomorrow. Russia's not going to stop in Ukraine. They will continue. So the question people should be asking is not, oh, why are you not in Ukraine? The question is, why is Russia still a country? Why has Russia still not been put down with the collective effort of the free world? And it's not even necessary for the free world to invade Russia or to attack them or to send their troops to Ukraine. That wouldn't even be necessary. If Ukraine had access to the best weapons the West has to offer, Russia would be done for in a matter of weeks. I'm not joking. I am not joking. To compare the military might of a country like the United States, even the United States in isolation, to Russia is absolutely laughable. Before the war, I'll give you a little bit of a few numbers. This is an interesting point. Before the Russo-Ukrainian war began, the United States used to be investing in their military, all of their military, about $700 billion a year. Russia, does anybody want to guess how much Russia was investing in their military before the Russo-Ukrainian war began? For reference, the United States were investing $700 billion a year. How much do you think Russia was investing, my friend? Don't worry if you get it wrong, it's fine. Sorry? A trillion? Half a trillion, so 500 billion, you think?
10.
Close enough.
10.
50 billion. 50 billion. That's what Russia was using on their entire military. Now the United States used 40 billion just to maintain their nuclear weapons, just to maintain them. This is the nuclear question we usually talk about. Why is Russia not going to use nukes? Because the Russians themselves, they don't know how to use them anymore. They don't know if they're going to work at all, or if they're going to spin in the air like their missiles at the beginning of the war and fall exactly where they came from. But that's not the only thing. You want me to put you at ease, my friend, and tell you why Russia is never, ever in a million years going to nuke the United Kingdom. Because the children of the Russian oligarchs swarm this city we are in right now. Their children, they do not keep them in based Russia, in amazing Russia. No, they send them to the rotten West, to the evil West. This is where their children are, the children of the rich Russians. They're all here. Belgravia, it's sometimes called Leningrad, because all the rich Russians are here, my friend. Now, this is something quite painful, because Russia is trying to hurt this country any way they can. You heard, surely you heard, about the quote-unquote activists that have destroyed British weapons not too long ago. You know the ones I'm talking about. They were, my friend, who do you think sponsors these people to destroy British weapons? We fully and completely support the United Kingdom, and we're very grateful for the aid the United Kingdom has given to Ukraine.
So you're saying that Russia is supporting these guys over there?
No, I mean, that's not Palestine action. I don't know if these are Palestine action. What I'm saying is Russia will support people that will vandalize and destroy British property and British weapons. And we fully condemn that. We fully condemn any kind of move against the British military. That should never be allowed by anyone, my friend. I don't think we should generalize the whole entire movement of supporting a cause, but to that and got banned for it, that's something well deserved. I think that's something deserved. Anyway, thank you, my friends. Thank you to based Welshman. I know I'm from Speaker's Corner, man. My past is returning, my friends. My past is coming up again. But I apologize for taking a little bit of a detour to answer some questions, but I truly believe that it's important to answer questions, even amongst people who may disagree, especially amongst people who may disagree about something with us. From the left, from the right, from the center, anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it's important for us to answer these questions. But now, my friends, I'd like to thank you all for coming here to this rally, and we're going to end it, as we started it, with the Ukrainian anthem.
України, ні слава, ні воля, ще нам, браття українці, усміхнеться доля, згинуть наші вороженьки, як роса на сонці, запануємо ми, браття, у своїй сторонці, душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду, душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Слава нації!
Смерть ворогам!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Україна!
Понад усе!
Героям України тричі!
Слава! Слава! Слава!
Ворогам України тричі!
Смерть! Смерть! Смерть!
Дякую.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Цей хлопець з Маріуполя.
Ой, переборщив. Наступна.
Шановний, ще повернемось до Маріуполя, так?
Обов'язково.
Дякую, дякую. Thank you very much.
Here, right? And then I'm like, oh, maybe I can just like roll it onto me. And no, it kind of like on my neck. Yeah, and then I'm like, I'm trying to get like.
See ya. Thank you.
I think I ended up like pushing it, and it went to like one side. But I like breaking.
Пішли? Пішли.
Генератор сюди привіз.
Шановні, а чому можу я запитати, з якої ви частини України?
Київська область.
А ви?
Харків.
Харків? У мене там дядько в Харкові зараз.
Бо я на ту сторону знімати там. Поки не пускай, там страшно.
Так, я знаю. Пише мені. Я був в Харкові в 19-му році. Тож, до ковіда. Ще до ковіда. Ну так.
Mama, it was last night. We could not
Так.
120 тысяч.
Привет Харькову хотите передать на видео?
Каким образом?
Ну, сюда вот. Телефон.
Я не умею говорить.
Ну, не знаю, какой район там, кто остался. Кого? Ясно.
Я тут очутилась, потому что здесь дождь такой.
Віталій, ось якусь маєте мати. До побачення.
До побачення.
До дочки.
Я на себе закрай.
Бум?
Не витягуй далі. Держи, поки держи. Хай буде там, хай висить.
А дочка одна? Внуки есть?
Да, конечно. Внук уже взрослый. Внучке 27, внуку 24.
Уже и правнуки сколько будет?
Ну, сложно, потому что внучка работает на дому, то есть она никуда не выходит, ни с кем не видится, поэтому дождаться внуков не знаю. Правнуков.
Парень хоть есть?
Не знаю, мне кажется, нет. Откуда ему взяться?
Ну да.
А вот эти собирать будут, да?
Ну да, потом туда в машину. А первый раз здесь, нет?
Первый раз я была позапрошлое воскресенье, когда...
А, это вы недавно приехали, да?
Нет. Я просто не знала, когда тут собираются.
Среда, воскресенье.
А де сумка, щоб бутилки собрати?
Где живете здесь? А, далековато.
Ну тут тебе Шахтар чи ні?
Не. Шахтар, мабуть, потім. Он з Донецка.
Да, Донецкий там, конечно.
Везде плохо. Я не скажу, где есть хорошие места, везде плохо. Спасибо, не буду мешать. Увидимся. приходите в воскресенье.
Воскресенье, да. Дай бог, чтобы погода хорошая еще была.
Ну да, уже холодновато становится.
Не, вдруг будет дождь, то это уже, конечно, не очень.
Ну да, половина людей не придет.
Абсолютно.
С какого района Харькова?
Харьков, ну, он раньше назывался Коминтерновский, а теперь Слободский. Слободский.
Понятно.
Более-менее спокойно, потому что это район богатеньких людей. Эти звездочные отели с ночными ресторанами.
Здесь 4 года?
Да, 4 год. С 22 года, как началась война, тут. Да.
Дякую.
Спасибо.
До побачення.
Всего доброго.
Сейчас Павло еще терапию проведет с вами с полчаса.
Oh no, he's over there. You guys see
Literally like a massive container of mushrooms. I'm gonna go home to cook mushrooms.
Он идет бурка. Чуть-чуть видео сделаем. Ташкент, Армения. Salam alaikum. I'm good. Are you from originally from which country? Iran?
Palestine.
You from Palestine, straight?
Alhamdulillah.
Oh. Okay.
From Jerusalem.
Jerusalem?
And yourself? Where are you from?
From Lithuania. Okay. You wanna stay here all night?
I do, but not tonight. My health is not good, so
Uh-huh.
I'm not staying.
Just
But I will
few
stay-
hours, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to come Saturday from 11 till 11.
Okay.
I used to stay all night before, but the health is not good, so I need to
All right.
listen to the body.
Okay, stay strong.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Thank you very much.
stopping by.
Bye.
Bye.
Ну,
Що, вони будуть тут цілу ніч стояти?
та каже, час-два.
Час-два, мало. Ми на початку то стояли цілий місяць.
14-му?
Так.
Та я бачив, отут стояли, так?
Так, тут.
Я пару раз бачив, підходив. 14-му. Окей, до побачення. Катя, если бы ты была умная, ты бы знала, что мусульманки только с мусульманами. Им нельзя предавать веру свою. Но ты не умная. А я не мусульманин. Хотя в мусульманстве очень много плюсов. Пішли? Усі там. Так.
Liam, Alex, you guys doing, no? I think they're already on the way.
Ну, терапія.
Давай трошки. Тут з єбланами поспілкуюсь трошки. Так. 236 people at the moment. 236 bots. 236 bots. Okay, English comments, guys. English comments. No English comments here. Come on. So that the lads can understand, so that everybody around us can understand. Maybe we'll get some people to participate. Maybe we can get some people to participate as well. Anglo-Saxons, good guys, man. Good guys, the Anglo-Saxons. Love them. Love the Anglo-Saxons.
Dobly. Are we not Vikings also? Or
They don't understand.
Celt them? Yeah, I know. They're not that educated, are they?
No, they don't know jack shit, man.
They understand English?
Like occasionally, Ukraine, Crimea is Ukraine, is Europe. That's fair, that's good. Good point. I am not bot. Bro, literally, beep boop, I'm not bot. Beep boop, goddamn son. Try saying it less like a bot, man. ChatGPT, nice try.
Google Translate.
Yeah, Google Translate, yeah. Bro, it really sounds like you're talking to Google Translate with some of these people. Like, I'm not even joking. Not even joking, these guys. Павло, ты собираешься баллотироваться в президенти України? Ні, я не думаю, друже, я не думаю. Не збираюсь, ні, не збираюсь. Лим. Це не серіал «Слуга народу», я не думаю, що реальне життя це не серіал «Слуга народу», хоч, ну знаєш, Зеленський став популярним і потім взагалі вийшов президентом після серіалу. Мені спочатку треба був якийсь серіал записатись, якби бути там головним актором, то все, а після цього може, хто його знає.
Ти маєш свій серіал про ватників.
Та блін, да, за ватників. Кожен епізод виходить, новий епізод кожного 9 мая, блін. Новий епізод виходить за вату.
Ну, English speaker?
Що за шрам на вашому фейсі? Обтейбл, так бехнувся головою, блін. Коли слухаю, що Трамп каже, блін, отак і хочеться бошкою бехнутися об стіл. Заколібав мене, Боже. Kyiv is Russia. Okay, interesting. This guy did not pass geography in school. He's saying Kyiv is Russia.
Did you saw
Does he not know about the Kyiv rules?
Trump say about Crimea somewhere in the ocean?
Crimea is somewhere in the ocean.
No.
Damn. The best, my friend. See you later, bro.
Він так сказав.
Ні, щось не чув за це.
Що Крим десь в океані,
Так?
біля океану.
Так, я чую.
Я ж не пам'ятаю цього. Промазав. Бач, протикав. Трамп вже стільки гімна намоловся, я вже то все гімно навіть не можу зловити зараз. Блін, ну, я не знаю. Ну хто каже, що, блін, Азербайджан з Албанією війну мав? Ну хто це каже, блін? Це навіть Путін би не сказав.
Почекай, він казав, що 6 війн.
Так, 6, 10, 100, 1000 воїн закінчив.
А які?
Да.
Можна
Закінчив, так. Йому би...
Ізраїль-Іран?
Йому би війну з деменцією закінчити, ото було б добре. То цю війну ніяк не може закінчувати. Хоч виграв, хоч би програв вже, збулися б його. Это ви чо, сидите дома, Україна вас ждет! Classic, bro. Classic comment, very good. Go back where you came from. That's right, very intelligent. I'm an intellectual, bro. Я не знаю, люди, ви думаєте, то для мене приходять люди на протести? Це до мене нічого немає. Ну все за мене. Я не така вже й важлива людина. приходять люди сказати британцям і тут цим туристам, і іноземцям сказати за Україну. Американці, ну я включив якби іноземців. Американці є, да. Америкоси дівучі. Ну так. Є британці, які тут роблять промови, є і з інших країн люди, які роблять нас промови.
Ті два з Шотландія було? Чи...
Один з них англічанин, а інший з Шотландії, по-моєму.
Він теж був стрімер, я бачив, там 400 людей було.
Да, Томас?
Ну, то що з телефоном стояв.
Ті чуваки, ні, вони англіки обоє, вони англічани, по-моєму.
А що він там кричав? Скотланд, що?
Я не знаю, я не чув. Може з Шотландії, хто його знає. Ти розумієш, Віталій, я їх не знаю. Я цих двох не знаю. Я знаю, чув за іншого чувака, Based Welshman. Він типа онлайн щось іноді говорив.
Корнер казав, що.
Да, що ще кажуть? Бескрайные кладбища на Украине расширяются. Да. А в Росії не розширяються, ні? В Росії у вас спалюють тіла, блін. Єблани, ідіоти. У вас жінки одружуються на чмобіках, щоб потім дістати баблос, а вони, чмобіки, вмирають, і їх одразу лишають там в окопі. І в окопі так заривають, іноді спалюють, іноді лишають їх для мишей, для собачок. Ну, собачкам теж щось треба їсти.
Жіночка отримує гроші і шукає другого.
Та ні, ну жіночка зазвичай нічого не отримує, тому то й фішка. Вони типу кажуть, о, пропав без вісті, тіло не було знайдено. Щось таке, типу, кажуть, а жіночка, о, ну як же так, він за Росію умер, за Родину. Боже мій. Ідіоти ви, люди, ідіоти. Ви всі ідіоти, блін, ви божевільні на голову, я не знаю, що вам ще сказати. Довгнуті в голову до кінця. Вас Путін вже скільки в жопу трахав, блін, вам це подобається, Боже, ви лише кричите, Путін, більше, пожалуйста. Заколібали, блін, мене, заколібали вже. Ладно. Не хочу, щоб це виглядало, що типу, я тут найраніше злий. Мені таке, мені все рівно, мені ні холодно, ні жарко від того, що ви кажете. Але я сподіваюся, ви розумієте, як це тут. Я сподіваюся, хоч хтось там у вас, хоч якийсь з цих власників ботофермів розуміє, який він насправді єблан. Я сподіваюся, що він, коли вночі буде йти спати, от перед тим, як засне, скаже собі, да, я єблан, отак і скаже. Я сподіваюся, що це буде таке саморозуміння серед вас.
Що, ті два дурня казали за наркоту.
Ці два. Блін, вони казали за наркоту, що скільки Зеленський нюхає в день. І так розсміялись смачно, я з ними посміявся та й кажу їм, друзі, ви знаєте історію, коли Єдина Росія, коли Єдина Росія попалась, що з Бразилії, 2 тонни наркоти, кокаїну прийшло з Бразилії. 2 тонни, чувак! 2 тонни, блін. І це головне, знаєш що? Їм від цього ще відгородитись не можна. Так. Бо кожен шматок наркоти, вони такі, якби, прямокутнички, знаєш? Так. Кожен з них штампом «Єдина Росія». От так. Кожен з них. Блін, я як на то подивився, думаю, боже мій. І ці наркошизи, в прямому понятті наркошизи, вони мають лице їбуче казати людям, ти наркоман, ти наркоман? Я не знаю, як це так. Це типу жінка на дорозі гола, хто не хоче її, з нею трахається, і вона каже, називає інших жінок проститутками. Ну, мене це шокує просто, я не знаю. Я у москалів також.
Алло,
вони теж не без сміхованців. Це хто сказав, там жінці цій треба передати, блін, привіт, респект. Смішно сказали. У нас страна большая, нужно много кокаина.
Так, 2 тонны, это для зелени навстречу в Москву.
Да, рассказывайте. Для зелени.
Крым это Украина, документально, юридически, по всем параметрам.
Ладно, Віталій, все, лишай там їх. Не срати, вже була в них терапія, обійдуться.
Светлана. Пишем, кто с какого города, и заканчиваем. город или область? Израиль, Франция.
Ізраїль. А чому Ізраїль, а не Урал?
UK, русская Одесса. Русская Одесса. И Аляска, наверное, русская.
Ага, звісно. Так Трамп сказав, що їде в Росію, казав, коли він в Аляску їхав. І план. That's right, Liam. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is Biden 2.0, except with much worse politics. Like his brain is dead, bro. His brain is fucking gone.
I have, як ти кажеш його голосом, я мав чудову зділку, як там, deal.
I made a great deal with, як він сказав, between Albania and Azerbaijan. I made a great deal between them. They were very nice to me. They were very good, very powerful men. They all shook hands and then they all jerked me off. Fucking Trump piece of shit. Azerbaijan and Albania.
Плохой английский пишут. Ребята, уже скоро языки вы перемежали. Ага. А что там дед пытался воздухать, когда Павло выступал? Там еще 3 стримеры пришли, и они свои там типа свой стрим вели, задавали вопросы там полусмешные. Екатерина Котельникова, я что-то не понял твою позицию. Путин хуйло? Напиши, Катя. Путина вынести из Кремля надо бы. Тот около тебя. Мы заканчиваем уже, все равно. До следующей среды, наверное. Путин красавчик. Не, Путин хуйло. Аляску мы продали, а Крым отжали. Ну, это временно. Сам понимаешь. Та не скоро чекайте новини. Микола, Донецьк, чекаємо. Путин не дорос, если это временно. Конечно, временно. Пішли. Все, ми йдемо бухати. Слава Україні. Русня пізда.